If you are just itching to try something fun, something unexpected, maybe something a little daring, you are going to want to try some of the paint techniques and ideas that we're going to talk about in this video. We've got a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and get into it. If you're new here, hi, I'm Ashley. I'm your virtual paint color consultant and decorator, and my job is to help you design a home you love. One of the things I am most excited about for 2025 is to pay attention to your ceiling and paint your ceiling something other than white. Now, this is trending right now, but this is by no means a trend. This is a timeless look. It's been done for decades, but people are now starting to embrace it thanks to the rise of the social media trend of painting your ceiling. I absolutely love this. Now, this year I have helped just a small handful of clients choose something for their ceiling that wasn't white, but for the most part, people are pretty timid about this. So I want 2025 to be the year that we all kind of dive into this trend. And I say trend, but no, this is a timeless look. Now, the key to getting this right is to choose a color for your ceiling that is reflected in your room. And then you want to keep your walls fairly neutral. Now, unless you are color drenching, and we'll get into that. Something that I think is also fun is to experiment with paint sheen, and I don't see this done a lot, but I want us to get a little bit more creative in 2025. Now, this doesn't make sense for every single home and every single space, so know your home, know your space. However, trying different paint sheens inside, and we'll talk about doing that a little bit on the exterior in a moment, can be really, really fun. One of the easiest ways to kind of dip your toes into this trend is to try it on cabinetry. So if you've got some built-ins in a living room or maybe an office, I love the idea of foregoing the typical satin sheen that you would see on cabinets and going for a semi-gloss or a high gloss. I've also seen this done a lot when someone chooses to color drench a room. Now again, this is not something you would put throughout your entire downstairs, but if you've got an office or a study or a library and you really want that moment, opt for a shinier paint sheen. Now, word of caution, the shinier the sheen, the more it's going to show. So you really have to prep those walls really, really well, or you're not going to like how your walls look. However, I have seen this done in rooms where they have color drenched the space and they have chosen either a semi-gloss or a full gloss, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's also pretty when you choose to do this on molding or trim work. I love this idea. I think we need to experiment more with sheen in 2025. Now, if you're not feeling the high gloss sheen on your interior, you might be more comfortable trying it on your exterior with your front door. My husband and I were just in Boston for a little mini getaway, and we were roaming through some of the neighborhoods, and it was a very nice neighborhood with a lot of traditional, very old historic homes, and every single front door was a high gloss finish, and it was absolutely stunning. But this is such a nice way to create some really nice curb appeal. Let's talk about unexpected red theory. Now, this is a trend that, unless you were asleep last year, you probably came across. It talks about just using red in small doses. Now, I have to admit, initially when I heard this, I thought absolutely not. Red is my least favorite color when it comes to decorating spaces. I did take a risk with this sweater. I love it, but red is not, this is probably the only piece of red that I have in my entire wardrobe. I do have a couple spaces in my house that need some love in terms of some artwork, and I have decided that I'm going to look for pieces that speak to me but also have some vibrant red colors. I think it's an excellent way to warm up spaces. You know, a lot of you are probably, when I say red, you might be thinking back to those bold burgundy red dining rooms that we saw the last couple decades that everybody was rushing to paint in bright neutral tones. This is not what we're talking about. We're talking about little pops of red, and this especially looks good if you're someone that really still is clinging to those ultra bright white walls. Dashes of red look really nice and bring some really nice warmth to a space. Same thing with those cooler blue grays, especially on your exterior. I love cool blue-gray exteriors with that sweet red front door. I think that's gorgeous. And honestly, a red door with a lot of different exterior colors is so stunning and so timeless. So if you want to try just a little bit of red, I recommend your front door. I recommend painting furniture pieces that desperately need a makeover, some accessories, some decor, maybe some artwork. Try using little pops of red in 2025 and you'll be amazed at how much character and warmth that brings to your space. This next trend is really fun. It's creating a wallpapered look with paint. Now, wallpaper has been trending for several years. I have wanted to try this in my own home, but my hesitation has been, I know myself, I like to change things up pretty frequently, so I've been hesitant. If that's you, you might like the idea of using paint to create this wallpapered look. Now, stripes is the easiest thing to do, but I've seen people get even more creative. I love this idea. If you've got a powder room or an entryway that you want to add a little bit more character, maybe elevate the space a little bit more, but you don't want to commit to wallpaper, try using paint to give the wallpaper look, and I promise you, you will be amazed at the results. Color drenching was big this year. It's going to be big next year and beyond. Color drenching is the idea that you are going to saturate a room in a color. So I'm talking about baseboards, walls. If you've got built-ins in the room, they're also going to be the same color. People are either choosing to leave the ceiling white in a color drenching moment or go all in and put the same color on the ceiling as well. Now, I think there are instances when that works when you've got a closed off room with doors, say a bedroom or a study with French doors. I say go all in on the color drenching. For me and a lot of other homes that have more of an open concept look and they want to try the color drenching and they feel like that might be a little bit too heavy, I'm recommending you try first with keeping the ceiling white to kind of bring a little bit more balance to the space. But I love color drenching. I do also want to mention I like this look best when you have mullions in your windows that can be painted because it does look best for the mullions to also be the same color as the room. It just kind of stops the moment if you've got white mullions or black mullions and you've got a pretty blue or a pretty green and then all of a sudden you've got these white mullions. So that is something to note. Now, the key to getting this right and not having this pretty color drenched space fall flat is to layer in texture and warmth. So because you've gone super bold with the color, you now need to bring in texture and warmth, and you can do that through jute rugs and accessories, cognac leathered furniture, brass, a lot of warm, rich wooden tones. All of that is going to make your space come alive and not feel too one-dimensional. Now let's talk about adding color just on your trim. I have seen this pop up all over. I have pinned several images just like this. We are going to hopefully finally redo our bedroom this year. I am still sporting the same furniture that I've had ever since we first got married, and I am embarrassed to say that it's, we went to a store and picked out all the same set. This is before I really got into design and really understood how much better and collected a room looks like when you don't choose a bedroom set, where you've got matching bed, dresser, nightstands. Anyway, hoping to kind of change things up next year, and I am highly, highly considering keeping the walls fairly neutral and then painting a really pretty color that's echoed in the decor. It'll most likely be blue because I love blue on my trim, baseboards, and crown. So again, you want to try something fun, but you're not all the way ready to commit to a color drenching moment. Why don't you try adding some color on trim? I also want to say too, I've seen this with wallpaper. Now, if somebody is wallpapering a space, it looks so much better to pull a color from the wallpaper and put that on your trim rather than just white trim, unless the wallpaper has a lot of white. But I love echoing some of the colors in that wallpaper and throwing it up on trim. It's so gorgeous and completes a space. What's even more fun to me sometimes than color drenching a room is to do layered color. Now, layered color is just what the name implies. It's choosing one color and then choosing various shades of that color to kind of wrap the room around. Now, I'll show you one photo that really just kind of inspired this part in the video. I know this is not an interior, but I was walking past a Faraday store and I saw how gorgeous the layered blue tones looked on the store. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. I had to snap a picture for you guys. And then of course they chose a really nice complementary orange for the front door. A store is just begging you to go in, and I think doing the same thing inside, and I'll show you some inspiration pictures, is a really nice way to create personality and add some interest to a space. Now, one thing you do have to be careful about, unless you are just a super talented designer, is making sure that the colors work together. And when we describe colors, one of the ways that's helpful to describe them is classifying them as dirty or classifying them as clean. Let's say we want to layer a color, or let's say we want to choose a navy blue like this. So this is a dirty navy blue. I'm going to compare it with a more clean navy blue like you see on the screen. You want to make sure that when you are going with a dirtier color, you pair it with other dirtier colors. So don't choose a navy blue and then pair it with a clean, really clean light blue. Something's going to look off, again, unless you are a designer and really know what you're talking about. It's easiest just to go with muted tones or cleaner tones. So that's just something to be mindful of when you are trying this fun trend of layered color. The next color trend to embrace is the color brown. Now, I have heard it several times repeated over the last year that brown is the new black, and I could not be more excited for that. I think black, especially when paired next to stark white, like we have seen in excess over the last several years, can be a little harsh. So if you are looking to really make a statement with a color, let's choose something other than black next year. Let's think about warmer tones like rich browns. If you have been clinging on to those ultra white walls or stark blue gray colors, 2025 might be the year that you have to give those up, because warm neutrals, earthier tones are here to stay, and I think they will only continue to be popular well into 2025. Think warm terracottas, warm neutrals, muddier greens, browns like we just talked about, earth tones, all of those warmer colors that just kind of feel like a warm hug. Those are going to be really big in the coming years. If you caught Sherwin-Williams paint colors of the year, now they didn't name one specific paint color this year. They actually named 9. Most of those were earth tones, those warm colors that we've been craving. These colors that the paint companies are naming are really indicating where the public wants to go in terms of colors for their home. I think it's also interesting that in my color consulting business, I do a lot of exteriors, and I would say the number one thing that has been said all year is warm neutral, especially on exteriors. They're wanting warmer tones and more mid-tones too. I think a lot of people are ready to give up those ultra whitewashed walls, and they want something earthier, something more organic, and I am super excited for that trend. Now, green has been trending for many years now, and it's going to continue in 2025. Well, I will say the greens that we're going to see in the next few years are going to be those muddier, earthier greens, which makes sense because we're kind of gravitating towards those earth tones. But green is not going anywhere next year. I have seen a ton of images of green cabinetry, green walls, green furniture. I think this is a great choice. Now, I will say, when you're talking about painting cabinetry something other than white, especially kitchen cabinetry, you need to take a good, hard internal look at your preferences and make sure green is a color that you have liked forever. When you start being influenced by all of these images that you see online and these beautiful kitchens that are using the it color on their cabinetry, and a color like green isn't something that you necessarily have gravitated towards for years, you might feel like when this green trend goes away, because it will, it's not as timeless as white or even blue. Blue is considerably more timeless than green. You might feel like you have a kitchen that's out of date. So again, any color can be timeless to you if it is something you have liked forever. For instance, blue is a color I have liked forever. I chose to drench my office cabinetry in blue. I have no regrets about that. I am not worried about waking up one day and deciding that these cabinets should have been white so that I can kind of change up my decor. Blue is something that I will always like, but that is not the case for everyone in every home. So when you want to choose these trendier colors for things that are more expensive to replace, cabinetry, backsplashes, really, really think about, is this a color that I have always liked and I'm not going to tire of in terms of making a more timeless decision?